Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're going to talk about a hidden force that can shape our entire lives. It's something that can determine who succeeds and who fails, all based on what we believe about each other. And it all starts with this brilliant line from George Bernard Shaw's famous play, Pygmalion. In the story, a professor makes a bet that he can transform a common flower girl into a high society lady simply by changing the way people treat her. And that really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What if our own potential isn't just about us? What if it's a reflection of what others expect from us? Well, this idea leads us directly to a really powerful psychological concept, the self-fulfilling prophecy. It's when a belief, any belief, whether it's true or not, actually makes itself come true just by existing. It's a cycle that feeds itself. This is called the Pygmalion Effect. Simply put, it's the idea that when we hold high expectations for someone, they tend to live up to them. When people believe in us, we start to believe in ourselves, and our performance rises to meet that belief. Now, here's where it gets really fascinating. This effect wasn't first discovered in people. It was found in lab rats. In a classic study, students were given identical rats, but half were told their rats were maze-bright and genetically superior, while the other half were told theirs were maze-dull. And you know what happened? The bright rats learned the mazes way faster. The only thing that was different? The students' expectations. They handled the smart rats with more care and encouragement, and it literally changed the outcome. So if expectations can make rats smarter, you have to ask the next logical question, does this happen with people too? Well, the most famous proof of the Pygmalion Effect took this idea right into a real-world classroom. These two researchers, Robert Rosenthal and Lenore Jacobson, wanted to test a really powerful idea. Could a teacher's belief about a student, all on its own, actually make that student smarter? So here's how they did it. It was pretty clever. At the start of the year, all the students took an IQ test. The researchers told the teachers that this test could identify kids who were intellectual bloomers, kids on the verge of a big academic growth spurt. But here's the twist. They just randomly picked 20% of the students and told the teachers they were the bloomers. It had absolutely nothing to do with their actual test scores. So the teachers went through the whole school year thinking these randomly chosen kids were secretly geniuses. At the end of the year, the researchers came back and tested everyone again. So what did they find? The results were just incredible. The kids who were labeled bloomers, again, completely at random, showed much bigger jumps in their IQ scores. The average kid gained about 8 points, the bloomers gained 12. But look at the first graders. For those youngest kids, the effect was massive. The bloomers in that group gained a whopping 27 IQ points. The teachers' expectations had become reality. Okay, so how in the world does this work? It's not magic, right? There has to be a mechanism that turns a simple belief in a teacher's head into actual, measurable changes in a student's brain. Well, it turns out to be a powerful four-step loop. It starts with someone else's belief about you. Because of that belief, they act differently towards you. Their actions start to change how you see yourself. Then, once your own self-belief changes, your actions change to match it. And finally, your new actions confirm their original belief and the whole cycle starts over again. Rosenthal, the lead researcher, broke it down into 4 key things that teachers did differently, probably without even realizing it. First, the climate. They were just warmer and friendlier to the students they thought were special. Second, input. They taught them more stuff and more difficult stuff. Third, output. They gave those kids more chances to answer questions in class. And finally, feedback. They gave them more praise and more specific, helpful criticism. And you can bet this doesn't just happen in a classroom. This effect is playing out all around us, all the time, shaping our society in ways we barely notice. Just look at these other studies. In one, a teacher separated kindergartners based on their parents' income. She called the middle-class kids tigers and the working-class kids clowns. Guess who got better instruction and did better in school? Then you have what's called a stereotype promise, where teachers' positive stereotypes about Asian American students lead them to get more opportunities, which boosts their performance. And studies on gender have found that teachers often unconsciously give more attention to boys, which can lead girls to become quieter and less assertive in class. These labels, these expectations, they create their own reality. Now, the point of all this isn't to make us feel bad about our hidden biases. It's the opposite. It's to realize that if we understand this powerful force, we can actually learn to control it and use it for good. So how do you do that? How do you turn the Pygmalion Effect into a positive tool? Well, you can actively choose to believe in the potential of the people around you. You can consciously challenge stereotypes in your own mind. You can watch your own small cues, a smile, a nod of encouragement. It all creates that warm climate we talked about. And you can focus on giving really good, specific feedback. Basically, you can become a positive mirror for others, reflecting back to them an image of someone who is smart and capable until they start to see it in themselves. And that brings us to this profound idea from the writer Goethe. It really perfectly sums up the Pygmalion effect, maybe one of the greatest gifts you can give anyone. A student, an employee, a child, is the simple, powerful belief that they can become everything they're capable of being. The real question is, what kind of reality are you creating for the people around you?